folks, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Melody.
And today we're taking a look at Century Golem Edition. Now, Century originally came out and it was called Century Spice Roads from Plan B Games. This is the exact same game, except instead of Spice Roads and trading caravans in the Middle East or wherever it is, this one you are in some alternate fantasy reality trying to get these golems to join you. So I'm doing this review for a couple reasons. One, you may never have played Century Spice Roads. Fine. Here's a way to look at this. Or you may have played Century Spice Roads and you just want to know how the components look different. Fine. And thirdly, Melody never played Century Spice Roads. So this is her chance to tell us what she thinks of Century Golem Edition. You like the artwork at least, right?
Yeah, I really like the artwork. I thought it was really cute.
All right, well, let's not spoil it. Here's how the game plays. Now this mat does not come with the game. It's something you can purchase separately, although it's hard for me to imagine playing the game without it. I mean, you would just lay the cards out, but it really adds beauty to the game. You have two rows of cards. You have your golem cards. These are very happy, friendly golems who you're trying to get. This one here is apparently a scarecrow chasing away the things, and there's all kinds of fun golems in here. You can see they all do different things that are helping humans. These are not combat golems. This one here is protecting the schoolroom. This one here has honeycombs built inside him. And there's just tons of different golems. And each of these golems are going to be worth points at the end of the game. Each golem needs a certain number of gems. This one needs 2 yellow and 2 pink to get it and add it to your points. When one player has gotten 5 of them, the game is going to be over. And whoever has the most points, which is going to be from these golems, and these coins, which are worth 3 and 1 point, whoever has the most points is the winner. Each player is going to start with a caravan card. This lets you keep 10 crystals in front of you. You'll start with a certain number depending on turn order, and each player is going to get 2 cards. These are cards that are in their hand, and then one player starts and the game continues. Here's what you do on your turn. You can play a card. So I could play this card in front of me. It gives me 2 yellow crystals. Well, that was easy enough. If I play this card here, it lets me upgrade 2 crystals. You'll see the crystals are yellow, green, blue, and pink. So I could upgrade 2 yellows to 2 greens. Or I could possibly upgrade a yellow to a green and then a green to a blue and do something like that. Another action you can do on your turn is pick your cards back up, because once you play a card, you can't use it again until you pick them back up. Now, 2 cards is not that many cards, so you might want to take a card here. So this card would let me change 3 greens to 2 pinks when I play it. Or you can do it multiple times. If I had 6 greens, I could change it to 4 pinks. So I could play that, but I'm going to pick this card up. When you pick a card up, you have to pick up the first card in line. If you want a different card, let's say I want this one. This one just gives me 2 greens. You have to put a gem on each card that you pass over. And that way, if someone picks up these cards in the future, they'll get the gem that's on it. All the cards will come down and we'll turn them over. And most of the cards will give you gems, will let you upgrade or change. Like this one lets you change a pink into 2 greens and 2 yellows. Change 3 yellows into 3 greens. 3 greens into 2 pinks, 5 yellows into 3 blues. Finally, another thing you can do in your turn is simply turn in the gems. Let's say I had 2 more blues in my thing. I could turn these in, the 2 greens and the 3 blues, and take this golem here. If you take a golem that's in this spot, you'll get a gold coin with it, which is replaced. If you take a golem in this spot, you get the silver coin with it, which is replaced. Every time a golem is taken, the golems will slide over, and more golems are going to come out. Like I said, as soon as someone has 5 or 6 golems in a 2 to 3 player game, you'll add up all the points, plus points for your coins, and whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. Well, wow. The game looks really good. I mean, cubes are cubes, right? But
yeah,
these crystals are way cooler than the cubes. And they're better colorblind friendly, because of the colors that they chose. But the artwork on the cards is phenomenal. I like how every single golem looks different, right?
Mm-hmm. And also, like, you can see how important they were, and like the more important they look, the higher points there were, and stuff like that. Like,
all my golems were important. They were doing things. Like there was one golem who's just a bridge. I'm not really sure why they couldn't just build a bridge.
You don't have to rock climb.
Oh, you're saying you build the golem, and you're like, go be a bridge over there.
You just walk over.
And if there's a hurricane, the golem can close. Okay. So the little containers were also really neat. You see how they fit in the box and then came out, and really get the playmat, because the playmat's great. The only thing I don't like is those containers, as cool as they are, it was hard sometimes to get the pieces out.
Mm-hmm.
The little bowls for the cubes were a lot easier to pull the pieces out in Century Spice Edition. All right, so components are great. Metal coins, too. What'd you think about the game?
I thought the game was a lot of fun to play. It was really simple, just basically get the little gems and stuff and try to switch them out with the colors that you need, with the cards that you have, which isn't that simple because you only have like at the most maybe 6 cards at the end of the game, depending on how many cards you get.
I guess you could keep taking cards.
Yeah, but then you don't really get gems unless people keep placing them and you get them that way, but it's not as fast. But like you don't have many cards and just you continually trade and trade to get the gems, and I thought that was really cool, and it was fun. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good aspects to this game. The first one is what Melody said, but I also really like how fast it is. And there's a lot of games you're like, when are you going to finish your turn? In this game, you're like, is it my turn already? It happens all the time. It's your turn, you take your turn, and everyone goes boom, 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 boom.
Card.
I pick up my cards.
Especially if this is only like
switching.
one action. There's like games where it's like multiple actions, and you're just like, there we go, done. Next turn.
Right, in some
Done.
games, you take 7 actions, and then when it comes to your turn, again, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. Now it's your turn, and that person takes 10 actions, and you're like, But in this game, even if all you do is pick up your cards, which is not an exciting action, it doesn't matter, because you're going to get to go almost right away.
Yeah.
And when you get a new card, it goes right into your hand, so you can play it the next turn. And that's another thing I really like about this game, is I really like how the card selection process. You can get any cards you want, but you got to put gems on them. And then I'll sit there and go, I don't really want that card, but
I don't want to give away this
there's like
gem.
3 gems on it,
Yeah.
And then you got to build your engine, figure out, okay, I'm changing 3 yellows to 2 blues. And this card changes 1 blue to 5 yellows. So if I use these cards back to back, I can get a whole bunch of gems and then change them. Or sometimes you make loops that don't really help you out. You have to kind of be efficient. What do you think about the player interaction?
You really gotta sometimes look at what other people are trying to go for, and so that you don't get the same golem, because then you end up like, I just have a whole bunch of colors that do not work for any of the golems, which could be irritating. Just pay attention.
Right, if you see someone else collecting and they're slightly ahead of you,
Back off.
yeah, you need to switch your gears and go for something else. Switch gears. Okay, so anyway, we played this in our family, and I already really like the game. I think it's a fantastic game. What's your rating of the game?
I think I would give it like an 8, or like maybe 8.5. Like I really liked it because it was really simple and it was just so fast and fun. Also, the art really made it fun to just look at the cards. Like sometimes I would take a little longer just because I'm like looking at all the golems and like, oh, it's that one because it looks cool.
Yep, and then same for me as before, it's a 9. This is just an absolutely fast-paced, fun collection game. It has some similarities to Splendor. And
Yeah.
Splendor collecting chips and turning them in for cards. I think this is better than Splendor. I think this absolutely kills Century Spice Edition. And I really hope that they continue to make games set in this universe, because while I don't mind trading real-world goods, this looked so much better. Not even a little better, but like at least twice as good. At least. So just a great game. This is one of those games I think everybody should try at least once.
Yeah.
Because even if you like heavy games, and you like heavy games more than light games usually.
Yeah. Like I'm not big on small, fluffy, light games. I'm more of the Euro game type of stuff. Like,
What have I done? What have I raised? But you still like this one.
yes.
That should be good enough for you guys. Century Golem Edition. I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Melody.
And you've been watching Double Trouble.
Boom.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at coolstuffinc.com.